If your fried chicken looks golden on the outside, why are some bites still pink inside? Today we're pulling back the lid on pressure frying at rush hour and what that means for the temperature inside your chicken. We'll use employee testimony, inspection findings, and simple kitchen science to show how speed, salt, and industrial shortcuts change what ends up on your tray, and how you can spot it before you eat it. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. If the timer says done, why do some bites still blush pink? The answer starts when the line hits the door. You've got baskets stacking up, screens flashing, and a cook who has to juggle legs, thighs, and a dozen side tickets while a beeper sets the cadence. Timers tell you when to pull. The crowd tells you to pull sooner. That collision is where safety gets shaved thin. Let's start with how the pace works. In a rush, staff drop mixed baskets because there isn't time to sort by size. A breast next to a wing, a thick thigh under a drum. The timer counts for the average piece, not the slowest one. When the bell rings, hands reach in, and out the basket comes. The outside looks right, crisp, brown, fragrant. The core is still catching up. Former workers describe a simple math problem. Clear the backlog or watch the line grow. That's when pieces leave the fryer a bit early to free a slot for the next load. It's not laziness, it's throughput. The surface tells a pretty story. The center hasn't read the script yet. Think of it like nuking a frozen burrito. Steam bursts from the tortilla, but the middle bites like an ice pack. Dense food heats unevenly, and bone-in chicken is dense food. The USDA sets the bar at 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest part of the piece. That number matters because bacteria die there, not on the crust. And with pressure-fried, bone-in chicken, carryover heat after you pull it is limited. Once the lid opens and the steam drops, you don't get much extra rise inside the largest parts. Piece size is a quiet villain. Wings are slim and heat fast. Thighs and big breasts are bulky and slow. Put them together in one drop and you set up a race the thick cuts are going to lose. At peak times, one basket is a lottery. Some pieces safe, others flirting with raw near the bone. There's also thermal lag. Bone moves heat differently than muscle and fat. The area right by the bone trails behind, so even if the outer meat hits target, the deep bite can still sit below safe temp. Larger mass needs more dwell time. No timer can change physics. Now add the visual trap. Golden breading arrives early thanks to hot oil, salt, and sugars that brown fast. The kitchen leans on color cues and the timer's tone because that's what they can read fast under pressure. Both are easy to misread when volume spikes. So here's the real kicker. When speed wins, the center loses. During surges, the risk of undercooked chicken goes up, not down. You get a crisp shell and a pink surprise near the bone. That mismatch is built into the rush. Now let's move on to why pressure frying can mask that risk better than a regular open fryer. Golden outside, risky inside. How does pressure make that happen? Let's start with the hardware. Pressure frying is a sealed pot that traps steam, raises internal pressure, and runs at a lower oil temp than an open fryer. That combo pushes heat hard onto the surface while the moisture can't escape. You get speed, you get juiciness, and you get a crust that turns the right color fast. But here's the kicker. Lower oil temps plus pressure give you rapid browning cues that mislead the eye. Steam surges from the coating, water stays in the meat, and the surface looks ready while the core lags. Your signals, color, crunch, sizzle are cosmetic. Safety lives at the center. Why does the crust lie? Maillard reactions. The breading has protein from flour and batter, and often sugar and salt. That chemistry browns in a flash when heat hits. The shell turns golden while the thickest bite still trails the target. Color arrives before safety. Taste arrives before certainty. That's a trap if you trust sight over temperature. Heat transfer under pressure favors the outside and just beneath it. Thin pieces catch up fine. Thick breasts and thighs do not. They need longer dwell to move that heat through muscle, fat, and around bone. The sealed chamber helps with speed, but not enough to erase physics. The center is still the slow student in the class. Think of it like a raincoat in a sauna. The outside gets slick and steamy. Under the coat, your shirt stays cool longer. Pressure frying wraps that chicken in hot vapor and oil, but the dense core, especially by the bone, hangs back. Feels done in your hand and sounds done when it crunches. The deep bite tells a different story. Food science lines up with this. Time to temp curves for bone-in poultry show the thickest point needs sustained heat to hit 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Under pressure, the variations get sharper compared to open frying because the surface races ahead. USDA guidance is simple. Poultry is safe at 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest part. Anything less is not done, no matter what the crust says. So if visual doneness fails, what should guarantee safety in the store? Not a timer, not a color chart, not the sizzle when it hits the rack. Only a temperature check in the right spot makes the call. And not just any thermometer either. The real kicker is this: only a calibrated probe in the thickest spot proves 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Without that check, pressure frying is a magic trick that hides a pink center behind a perfect coat. The crust sells certainty it doesn't own. The core keeps the receipt. The next problem: policies say temp checks. The clock says move faster. Which one wins at 6 p.m.? On paper, it's safe. On the line, it's a race. Corners get shaved where the clock starts calling the shots. Let's start with the standard. Stores post time, temp charts for each cut. Staff are supposed to probe the thickest bite with an instant read thermometer, let pieces rest so heat evens out, and keep cooked chicken hot in holding cabinets. Oil gets filtered on a set schedule so fry temps stay stable and crumbs don't burn. That's the plan when the headset is quiet. Now the friction. Thermometers go missing or sit out of calibration. One person runs 2 stations. Baskets stack up while the screen fills with drive-through orders. Hold times stretch past the window because the next batch isn't ready. The process turns into triage, and the first thing to slip is the slow step that keeps you safe. Inspection notes back that up. Reports have flagged raw chicken sitting at room temp during busy service, cross-contamination from the breading table to the cook line, and hot holding below target. None of that is rare during a dinner crush. It's what happens when the line surges and procedures fight for space with speed goals. Holding cabinets add their own trap. They work when they stay closed. But during a rush, those doors open nonstop. Every open dump of heat knocks the cabinet down, and the food inside drops with it. What started safe can drift into the danger zone if the cabinet can't recover between grabs. You can spot warning signs at the tray: pink near the bone, a gelatinous or rubbery texture, or juices that run anything but clear. Those are red flags for undercooking. If you hit one, don't rationalize it as just seasoning or dark meat. That is the bite that needed more time. The safety numbers are simple. Poultry is done at 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest part, checked with an instant read. Hot holding stays at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or above. Drop below that range and bacteria don't just nap. They multiply. Charts, posters, and timers don't change that math. Why does the golden crust fool you? Pressure frying, fast browning, and uneven piece size. The coating reaches color quick while the core lags, and a mixed basket makes the lag worse. If the cook pulls on the timer instead of the probe, the thick cuts are the ones that lose. So what can you do at the counter without a lab coat? You can ask for a well-done batch or smaller pieces, pass on trays that have sat too long, and check the first bite. If it's pink or gummy, send it back. You're not being picky. You're staying out of the danger zone. So what is the takeaway when staff rush? The risk of undercooked chicken rises. Why the mismatch: golden outside, raw inside, pressure, fast browning, and uneven size. Are locations hitting temp at peak? Not reliably unless they probe and hold like the book says. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like and share it with someone who loves a bucket. The truth is, a crisp crust is not your safety test. The only green light is 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the thickest bite. Color lies, temperature doesn't. So here's how you keep control at the counter. Order smaller pieces at peak. Ask for fresh and well done. Cut into the thickest spot. You want clear juices, not pink or gummy. If it fails that check, send it back and step away. You might want to start asking sharper questions. Brands change when customers don't settle. Ask how they check temps. Ask for a probe check if you need it. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets.